Alrighty. Good morning, good evening, good day, and good night. Sorry about the delay there. Had a little bit of a technical headache to deal with. But here we are. Yours truly is back on the air. I'm just going to throw my sweater on real quick. There we go. And today we're going to continue on with our finding spells for deities. Then I just realized I don't have my browser open. Which means I need this. Get rid of that. So I got some of this done already. I've gone through a good portion of my deities. And gotten a number of these into, I think, a decent spot. Maybe not the best spot, but a decent spot. At least in a spot where it's usable. In a lot of cases, it's like the first 3 to 5 levels are taken care of. Very, very simply. 3 to 5 is pretty much set, easy to take care of, taking care of what, so on. It's the ones that are after that that I'm uncertain on, but there's lots of time. Tons of time. Oh, excuse me. To ensure that those are correct, right? They can always be changed later if they make more sense to be. And the fortunate part also is that I did some looking. And in a lot of cases, it's really not that important to get these exactly right immediately. It's not the most important thing because it's only one more spell in the list of prepared spell lists. So even if it's slightly not perfect, but it still gets the job done. Then that's good enough. There. I mean to skip that, but whatever. All right. We need to make it so that you can see this. There we go. There we go. There's that. There's that. And I need my other window over here, which I didn't ever actually create. So we can get the we can get that going. And where is... All right, let's keep this. All right, let's see here. So we got, which one's next? Varus, I believe it was. Yes, Varus. Never see you coming. All right, let's see here. Load all these for starters. I remember hydraulic push being in here. Yeah, there we go. Hydraulic push. Make sure I'm doing this correctly. Forgot to make my announcements on Discord. Okay. Now let's see here. Mist. Maybe there's something with mist in it. Let's see here. Well, actually, let's do something a little bit simpler here. Let's just do water and see what we find. Could do wall of water. Kind of like that. Um, hmm. Let's try something a little bit more along the lines of, because we can always do another one, which I kind of like, which is wall of ice. There is a bit of a moon and a lightning kind of thing. You know what? Let's just try moon. Let's see what moon gives us. No. Hit level 10. Summon Kaiju. Jeez. There's one thing that I wish that Archives of Deathis did that 5e Tools does, which is if you hold shift and over a pop-up menu, it creates a secondary window that you can scroll through. Let's go with Protect. Mantle of the Frozen Heart. Oh, this is legacy content. I'll do Wall of Ice as a level 5 for this. I think that's fine. I don't see a reason to complicate it. All right. Virgil. Let's see here. Might, Cities, Confidence, Zeal. So let's try some magic weapon. Imagine that's a clerical spell already. It is. Hmm. Conductive weapon? That's lightning based, right? Yeah. It's not really lightning. Although if there's a fire-like one. Draw ire. Go to strike you. Deal 10 mental damage, causes a 1/-1 stealth as well against creatures other than you. The creature must do a will saving throw. Maybe? Draw Ire actually doesn't sound like such a bad option. Hmm. Yeah. Let me make sure I'm actually spelling this right. Draw Ire. Actually, you know what? He wants to be a lot more aggressive. That's more of a defensive. I'm gonna go with Sheer Strike. That makes a lot more sense. Mm, as much as Blur might be accurate, I think we might do Enlarge. Overwhelming Memory, Paralyze, Sculpt Sounds, Secret Page. Wooden Devil. Some Naruto stuff right there. We could try getting slow. Might, Confidence, Zeal. Oh my. Hmm. Does this just make you able to handle like tougher stuff? Yeah. No, this doesn't really work. Invisibility is good, but it wouldn't fill this. Yeah, heat metal maybe. I did like the enlarge. We'll do enlarge. Slow, but I'm not big on this one. Slow feels kind of weird. Maybe there's like a better fourth level spell I'm not thinking of right off the top of my head. All right, let's see here. Uh, Hold on. What was? Oh, it was pest swarm. I thought it was past self. Let's see. Tomorrow's dawn. No, no vision of death. No. Vision of death will definitely work for Eeyore for sure. Let's make note of that one. I'm just gonna add that one now. I think we can just leave this as is for now. Yeah, I think that'll. I think that'll do. All right. All right. Let's take a look at Gwendol. All right. Gwendol is Star Phoenix. So let's try. trying to remember what the fast scroll button is, but not remembering it because it's not control, because that's the zoom. No, I guess page up, page down is faster, but still. All right. Let's think here. Fate, Soul, Star. Let's just try typing in like these keywords first. Let's try Star. Mental, non-lethal, dehydrate, carry all. No. Stupefy. Sea of Thoughts. Sun? No? Okay. Let's try. I saw one earlier. I think it was like Minion. Phantasmal Minion. She's big on space. Um, is there one for darkness? What about space? I realized the problem with potentially searching for that one. The Queen's Rainbow. Wait, is that a ritual spell? Oh, I see. Let's actually add some filters here. I don't want to put in rare or uncommon stuff. So this will make it a little bit easier for me to find stuff. Interesting. Or not time. Time doesn't make sense. This is space. This is like space, astral sea. Jump maybe. Time jump. Okay. Magnetic repulsion. Which melts away defending against metal weapons and armored foes. Hmm. Do we go with illusions, maybe? I guess it's not really like an illusory thing. Sculpt sound makes a lot of sense, though. That one I can see. Hmm. Just start at 4th rank and go down, see if we see anything. Oh. I don't know what level it is. Astral. Is there anything for like astral form? Wrath, sphere. Maybe there's gotta be something for the astral sea. Like astral projection or something. Hmm. Maybe it's considered an uncommon or rare spell. Maybe we just do this. Maybe now it'll show up. It's still, that's why. Uh, Planar place. Do a demi plane. Project, maybe? No. Let's see. I can't really think of another thing to look into. Because that's aerial form. Got chromatic stuff going on here. Whew. Mirage, maybe. Uh, let's just go fate. Maybe we'll get something. Oh, clairvoyance. I should have been searching like divination or something. That works. All right. Your. Hey, Star. How's it going? Good morning. Good morning. Not too bad. I'm actually about to get up to grab some water. Now that I think about it, because throat's feeling a little scratchy after that sneeze I just had. Holy. We're adding spells to deities today. We've gone through and done all the domain stuff. We're just going through and adding individual spells now. One moment. All right. Let's see here. I need to actually do something with my microphone real quick here because I'm noticing some minor issues. Gain. Reduced by like 2. There we go. It should be peaking. It's still peaking out. So I'm going to have to fix this the annoying way. Microphone setup. No. All right. Manage sound devices. Here we go. There we go. Device properties. To lower this slightly because I keep peeking out and I need to not be. There we go. That's much better. There we go. Okay. The problem I was having for a while was that I was peeking out on the back end. What I can do now is I can bring this back up just a little bit. Just keep it from peeking out as much. All right. Give it. You got 500 toads. I am considering. And heights creatures trigger any potential traps in the area that could be triggered by the weight of the movement. Which is position of a medium creature. Areas difficult terrain in the magic restricts any toads destroyed by traps to keep the area full of toads for the duration of the spell. It's mighty tempting. I know who I'd give it to, too. Then why not? I didn't say I wouldn't. All right, is my phone actually charging while it's being used as a camera? Yeah, it is actually charging. Okay, good. I very well may do that anyways. Let's see here. So, we're gonna start with we're gonna do with Eeyore, which is my death cycle nature deity. And I think I see something that I like here. Grim Tendril. Yeah. Alrighty. Maybe. I feel like we might change that. Neutral? Neutral. Is so my nature deities, so a very quick and easy way to kind of understand this is I try to keep them a little bit more nuanced than this, but light you can think of as the good deities, darkness you can think of as the bad deities. The elementals are kind of like their own agenda kind of nonsense. The natural order are basically neutral nature deities. They're a little bit more about things as they are as opposed to things that we want. And then Shadow are your more morally ambiguous individuals. So Eor is the god of like the death and the life death cycle. As an Orcus, yeah, I probably won't use it then. Like I did just like briefly look at it. Like that actually looks like something that I would pick up as this, but there's probably something that's better designed for it. I know that Vision of Death is absolutely one we're putting in here though. That one I'm not changing, that's for sure. Hold on, my daughter's getting into something. Okay, returned. Could do ill omen, causing them to be close to death. That's actually a really good idea. I do remember briefly seeing that one earlier. As chaos in Zephyr, Omar, Fortune's Fate, Emot, Meshte. Yeah. Ill omen. Phantasmal Minion. I find Phantasmal Minion has been showing up more as a like um what's the way to phrase this? The ones that it shows up in, it's a lot more. It's not even. I was gonna say it's like a little bit more of a placeholder, but it's not. Um, it's more illusory. Not illusory. Um, it just doesn't fit as well. I do like the ill omen thing though. Um. Oh, we could also use sleep. Sleep would also work. It's one of Anubis' spells, so I suggest it. Fair enough. Sleep could work. By the way, anything on this list would work because I do actually have it filtered. The filter set up to get rid of cantrip focus and specifically not of the divine tradition. So it will. So it is sorting correctly. Hopefully. All right. Now, next question: do we go second, third, or do we go high? You know what? Let's just do this. Let's just do this. Let's do death and just see what comes up. Call the blood. Wouldn't go higher than 7th. Yeah, I've seen some very fringe cases of going 8, but it's typically I've noticed that it's typically something along the lines of a first, a second, third, or fourth. And if you don't pick a fourth in the first one, it's fourth, fifth, sixth, sometimes seventh. The only exception to that I've seen, that general rule is deities that have the magic domain, and deities that have the magic domain have one for every single spell rank. Um, but yeah, 7th is kind of like the yeah. Yeah, that's something that they did with the revised editions. I noticed it on Nethys, and then and then when I went looking through other magic domains, I noticed that like a ton of them had it. Well, not a ton, but like that it was a thing that was showing up consistently. So it's like make a deity about magic. Lo and behold, they give you magic. Like it thematically makes a lot of sense. The other thing also is that something that I've noticed is that I don't really have to worry too much about this being like the spells I'm providing being too powerful because it's only providing you access to the spell slot, like the spell to be slotted. Will I do something similar? I already did. I already did that. I only have one. I think I only have one deity that has magic as her primary, and that's Anla. And I did that with her. And she's more of like an information deity. So a lot of like classically divination oriented stuff. The control of information. Although I couldn't find anything that really worked, so I just took detonate magic because Nethys had it. It kind of fits. These spells lists aren't like set in stone. They're probably going to be revised and adjusted as time goes on. Let's go with death. Let's go with let's try adding some traits maybe. No. Oh, here we go. Try adding the death trait. Try void spells. Yeah, I'll try void spells as well. In a minute here. So death doesn't really work. Let's try void. Oh. How's this cage? Filter by including any ore. That one I don't think I want to do because that will. I don't think that's actually gonna change anything. Yeah, no, it doesn't change anything. I'd rather just turn it on and off because I don't want it to start putting in cantrips and focus spells by accident. Artificially, geez, Nethys. Curse of Lost Time, maybe. This actually might make. Add Death and Void at the same time. Oh, right, because the red would just mean that it won't include it at all. In either case. Curse the target with rapid aging or erosion. This feels... Yeah, this feels appropriate. Made with precious materials are immune. Living creatures with ageless creatures are immune. At which point they ages briefly, becoming clumsy and enfeebled for a round. As fulfilled, but it's just as fulfilled, but with the unlimited duration. Yeah, this works. Is this a third? This is a third. Perfect. Perfect. That is taken care of. All right. Done. Yeah, with the restrictions of not divine, there's still 642 spells available. Jeez. All right, so Kalor is the nature, the classic nature deity. So he's all about beasts, nature, the hunt, evolution, things of that nature. And so I'd filter a little more. Yeah, I don't mind just doing searching terms and things like that, just to try and find things that way. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't just put domains in because then because it only checks for focus spells because that's what the domains are tailored to. So I can't use that, unfortunately. Alrighty. go Sure Strike. Sure Strike is a common one that I've noticed showing up a bunch, so I don't mind doing that one. Let's see here. All right, I'll be right back. All right, returned. He's less of a hunter. Like hunt is part of it, but he's less of a hunter and more of just like nature's fury instead. Like beast is a better way of describing rather than hunt. So we could do 500 toads for this one, as as comical as it might be. There isn't really another one I can think of outside like maybe a trickery. Yes, obviously. Obviously, yes. I'm just gonna do it. I don't care. Someone, nah, Sure Strike could still work. Sure Strike could still work. I'm not too concerned about either or. I may switch it back to that afterwards. We're gonna just load all these. I think I saw something earlier that I think would fit perfectly, which is animal form. Yep. All right. Is there another? I'm not gonna just make it all animal. Well, I could make it all animal based. So, animal vision could work. Is there anything for fourth? Or drift, atomic land, lure, no. Bestial curse. Yeah, literally where I was going. Bestial curse. This is a fourth. In all seriousness, though, I will probably end up making this Sure Strike over 500 toads. In all truthfulness, but I just like the idea too much. The big thing here is that I feel like I would be robbing the potential strength builds if I don't give Sure Strike. So, I feel like I kind of have to. Just because Sure Strike would be so much better for, we'll say, like half of the, like, we'll say if it's 50-50, people go for not the War Priest, but whatever the other one is, the archetype. You think too much of robbing potential builds. I think what's thematic interesting. That's fair. That's fair. That is a fair point to make. No one plays Battle Harbinger. That's a shame. Is that what the archetype is the Battle Harbinger? I know no one plays War Priest because the War Priest is garbage. Because it pushes you into two different columns in a not so great way. Because you're still dependent on spellcasting, and then you're trying to be a martial character, and it also kind of like doesn't give you all the martial stuff you need. It's still very much like you're still a spellcaster. I remember mentioning to someone one time, like, the way that this works is that you basically need to play a dwarf. You need to go like, I'm tanky cleric, not martial cleric. But cloister's a little better. Yeah, that is what I have heard, is that the cloister cleric is just straight up better because it specializes more, which Pathfinder really benefits you if you specialize. Or pays out better if you specialize that can hit decently. Yeah, that was kind of my thoughts on the matter. Is like, if you remove the Oracle from um from the list of classes, the cleric always seemed to me as like the robes priest, whereas the war priest was more of like, no, I'm gonna walk in with bulky armor, and you're gonna try to hurt me while I heal the guy that's standing right next to you and that's beating the crap out of you. Like, when I think war priest, I think I'm standing next to the barbarian who is just going to town, trading blows, and you're keeping him alive very, very easily. I have a player that's trying to generalist too much. Yeah, I believe it. Um, Sure Strike still just makes more sense than 500 toads, anyways. I'm trying to see if there's something else that like kind of piques my brain. I mean, I mean, say, say all this to my Cloister Cleric with a champion dedication has highest AC in the party. If I lie to myself because getting champion archetype is 2 levels away. Yeah, fair enough. But thematically, you're already kind of going there. Infect a creature with goblin pox. Oh, it's just fantasy chicken pox. Okay. Oh, when I take champ, my AC will no longer suck. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think we're pretty well set on this one. All right. Let's take a little looky look here for Maleficia. Oh, I already had her done. Summon Fae, Enthrall, and Suggestion. Yeah, that works. Alrighty. Celine. Is the goddess of the harvest. I think I actually saw something wrong up here. Yeah. Also, this doesn't need to be there. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Is there anything for grow? We'll jump by 3 when I take champ dedication. Oh, is that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 3 is a lot in this context. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, because here's the thing. Because this is a conversation that I remember having with someone that was trying to understand like why, like how the numbers work. And I said, here's the way that you can think of it. When you're fighting against peons, like having an extra couple hit points of AC is is nice because it kind of does the same thing, which is like it reduces your odds to get hit. Like obviously that means that you have a 15% less chance to get hit in this context. Like, you get 3. So it's 15%. You get hit 15% less often. Um, but I said where this armor really shines is when you get to deal with people that have high attacking monsters, and like when you're dealing with what I call elites or bosses. Because elites tend to hit a little bit more above the curve, and then bosses obviously tend to hit like well above the curve. And what this is really doing is it's not reducing the odds of you getting hit, although it is doing that. Um, it's reducing the odds of you getting crit. And crits in Pathfinder are far more brutal than they are in D&D. Like the illustration I used was if something has a 17 to 20 odds of critting you, it has a 50% chance of hitting you and a 20% chance of critting you. And the reason that the distinction it matters is because 20% of the time they're doing double damage. So if they normally do 20 damage to you, 50% of the time you're taking 20, and 20% of the time you're taking 40. If you reduce that crit range, you reduce it, you get 3 armor class. That reduces it from 17, it goes 17, 18, 19 are gone. So 20. So now 5% of the time they are doing 40 damage, and then 50% of the time they are doing 20 damage. Yeah, and bosses do crit a decent amount of the time as well. Well, that's because they're higher level than you, which means that they have a higher attack rate than standard for your they're above par for attack rate, which in turn means that they're going to crit more often. Same thing with spell DCs, right? They can have spells at you. You're going to fail. You're going to critically fail spells more often. Here we go. Verdant. I was gonna go with Flourishing Flora, but Verdant Sprout works better. Sprott. Sprott. All right. Entangling Flora actually works pretty well. We're just gonna be doing 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Second, Entangling Flora. Third, we'll go with Wall of Thorns. For now. Right now, my Cloister Cleric has a base AC, no level Prof rank, or runes of 12, which is bad. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I assume level 1. like 12 AC is rough. You're gonna get punched in the mouth and crit a lot with that. Alrighty. And last but not least in this list is Sylvus, who is the dreams deity. Oh no, no, that is without any like proficiency ranks, levels, or runes. So my actual AC is 22. Oh, okay, I understand now. This one, Phantasmal Minion works definitely well. Base AC is just 10 plus AC plus Dex. Yeah. 0 dexterity. Jeez. That's rough. Where is our kid? She's not in the kitchen, is she? Okay. Alright. This one. First thing that goes to my mind is Phantasmal Minion. Possibly Sleep. Base AC will be boosted to 16 at level 11 thanks to heavy armor proficiency. Yeah, that's one of the things I do like about Pathfinder is that heavy armor really do be like the AC, like the way to go for AC. That's why a champ dedication is seen on a lot of caster builds. I believe it. Having access to heavy armor is kind of good. It does do the one thing that it does limit your ability to maneuver as much in a lot of cases because you may not have the strength for it. Although I say that, but it's pretty easy to get the strength that you need over the course of like levels 5 and 10. It's just a matter of it's more of a question of when you get it. Yeah. Here we go. Phantasmal Minion. Decent strength investment plus armor skirt on half plate. Decent dex. Fleet means you still move decently. Yeah, like there's ways that you can definitely set up to be more of a if you want to be more that battle cleric or that battle caster, you can definitely set it up. But again, like this is one of those things. Like if you go through level 5 and 10, it's just like okay, well suddenly this doesn't seem like it's so hard to do when you consider that you're gonna get 2 pluses to your strength, for example, and picking 4 of 6 of your stats to boost is it's not hard to come up with 2 that you're gonna not take because you're gonna always take like unless you're taking charisma specifically for something, you're never gonna like for your class, you're probably never gonna take charisma. and you can always like say, okay, I'm not going to take intelligence because I don't necessarily need it because I'm not unless it's your spellcasting modifier. Like you can always dump one or two of the mental stats, and then you just like you dump Dex once, or Dex if you're going for the heavy armor, so that you don't have to worry about it ever. Depending upon what kind of setup you have. It's not hard to pick your 4 to make sure that to get you in the direction that you want to go. All right. What if we just type in dream? I mean, if you're trying to max out the stats you want to invest in, you take +4 to 1 stat, +2 and 2 stats, and 1 and another, assuming human and not heritage that boosts 3 rather than 2. Yeah, like there's a lot of ways to set it up so that you don't even have to rely on those boosts. But if you know, depending upon when you know you're gonna take stuff, right? Like you plan out when you're taking stuff, you can do it if you can do it accordingly. Ancestry, yeah. I know what you mean. Lure dream. Reach out into the dream realm and beckon animated dreams to your side. It works as a summon animal, except you summon an animate dream. I kind of like that. Perma Frostbite, greetings and salutations. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing well. I am doing well today. Thank you. We'll use that. 6th. Because why not? Actually, you can just do both. This just works. Yeah, this just works. Been playing Pathfinder years so far? Nice. Dream Council. I know those are both high level, but they're thematically too good for me to pass up. Just calling a dream creature and then having a council inside the dream realm, too good. I can't not use those. Longer than I have. I also have not been playing Pathfinder that long, like Pathfinder 2nd for very long. Longer than I have played D&D since I can't play as my continuing character in D&D. Well, I mean, you can, but you don't. But you have to make some sacrifices to what it is that you're able to do, theme-wise. All right. 8 months though doesn't feel like that. Not gonna lie. Yeah, like I played a handful of times here and there, mostly along the lines of like in the West March system I've been running, and then I've also been and I also played a bit of level 3 for the thing. So from a different reality near Dream Realms. Nice. Fun times. The thing that Pathfinder does is that and I remember having this conversation, is that you can do anything you want in 5th edition D&D, but you have to make it. Whereas in Pathfinder, you can do anything you want in there, but you have to find it. It's kind of like the big difference between the two when it comes to like character creation that I've noticed. Because you can kind of find a way to just make everything work. Wait, I forgot to mention, did you know there are people from pre-communist Russia in Galorian? Wait, that's actually a thing? I thought that was someone just making a joke. I've heard this before. I just didn't know it was real. Like, I always assumed that was just a way that somebody described it. Boy, hello, greetings. Welcome, welcome. There's a 1E AP, I believe. Oh, that. Okay. And they told me so. It seems valid and something you could find in Pathfinder. Yeah. Basically, the long and short of it is that you can eventually get everything that you want. It's just you may not have access to it at level 1, right? There's also a civilization with a railgun that ripped off a crashed spaceship. I mean, that checks out. For this, I think we're gonna go Sure Strike. Because this is the adventuring deity. Like, literally the god of adventurers. There are some scuffed ass spells in PF2E, so this is fun. Yeah, there is. What confuse people at times is not needing to breathe, since my character has no guts but only bones, fur, and ice, and also that my character feeds on magic instead of normal food. And I swear to God, do not bring up Gale from Baldur's Gate 3. I wouldn't. Feeding on magic and other stuff like that is not anything new. People just like making pop culture references all the time. So Gale from Baldur's Gate 3. There was a carrying spell I saw earlier. After a while, it started getting super annoying. I mean, yeah. Well, the thing is also people think they're clever, right? And it's just like, What was that spell that was for carrying stuff? Was it Helpful Wood Spirit? No, it's not the Helpful Wood Spirit. Target can carry more. It wasn't Ant Hall either. And up to a maximum of 6 more bulk. Maybe it's Ant Hall that I do want to use instead of Sure Strike, just so that people can carry more. I think it was helpful though. I don't think it was Helpful Wood Spirit though. What was it? Hall? Oh, telekinetic hall is might be the one I'm thinking of, which is not what I want. No. Hmm. I'm gonna change Sure Strike to Ant Hall though, because that makes way more sense. Greedy adventurer trying to take as much as they can. Um. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Oh my gosh. All right. Load the rest. Mm. Okay. We want some exploration-oriented stuff for this one. Let's see if we can't find some good stuff for that. Oh, mental map maybe? You glean detailed information about a specific place visited by a creature directly from its mind. Use it to target. That works. That second or third? Second. I'm half tempted to give Fireball just because, like, hey, every adventurer wants Fireball. But I'm not gonna do that. Mm, shrink item maybe. It's got shrink a target one magical object with up to 20 cubic feet in volume. Yeah. This is all about them being able to get into places, get what they want, and get out. Oh. Oh. All right. Aurora Winter. This one may be difficult. Because this one is all about like travel, introspectiveness, the self, things like that, like finding yourself and all that. Hi, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Thank you, Gabby. Appreciate it. Gentle landing, maybe. Fleet step, perhaps. Ah, tailwind, maybe. Tailwind was probably more accurate. Yeah, tailwind is definitely more appropriate. Tailwind. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see here. Uh, Ghostly Carrier. And when you cast it, you can react to moves the rate of the creature, and your character must spell attack. Ghostly Carrier was the one I was thinking of before. That's not what I was, but that's not what I actually want. Falsify Heat. Awesome. Sonata Span. What is this? By playing a brief tune on an instrument or in song, you can use the notes of melody to physically manifest into a shimmering, translucent path. The path doesn't need to be over solid ground and carry up diagonally. It can tilt up or down directly up the 45-degree, but must be a straight 5-foot wide line. Because for as many creatures as it physically fit on the bridge. That's not bad, actually. It's not a span? Maybe. Maybe. Mm. Echo jump. Explosive magical force. No. Farsight? Maybe. Mm. Stone, Valley Point, Sandfall, Sound, Sculpt, Sound, Sea of Thought. Sea of Thought. You cover the area in sloshing torrent of semi-solid thought, roughly ankle high. The area becomes difficult terrain, similar to a shallow bog. Each rally creature starts its turn there and must attempt a fortitude save against shifting waves of thought. On failure, it takes a 10-foot circumstance penalty to its speed until it leaves the area, and on critical failure, it is also knocked prone. And it's just always difficult terrain. Five to Pathfinder. I'm converting my deities over, so I guess it's because the deities were designed for 5th edition, so now I'm converting them over to 2e. I kind of like this. Do that. Unless there's something that in here further that kind of jumps at me a little bit more. But I don't think there is. Let's just see if there's something in the luck category that jumps at me. I'm waiting for my ADHD mess to kick in. Fair enough. There isn't really a better option I can see in the immediate. So I can always look further at another time. Oh. Okay. Alright. I will be right back. I gotta take the dog outside. All right, I have returned. Okay, so let's see here. Where were we? Uh, uh pretty much dealt with. All right, let's go to Bahavam. Because, and he's gonna be a weird one. Um, so let's see here. First one that comes to my mind is Knock. I believe it's a second level spell. Yep, Knock. First thing that comes to mind. Gotta get the gotta get things open. Now he is also a negotiation style individual. Very much a charismatic individual, so charm might be a good personal pick. Which better not be. One sec. Okay, let's see here. Did you know that there's a D&D conversion, not really a specific edition, of Eberron saying to Pathfinder 2 as well as Savage Worlds? Excuse me. Eberron's my favorite setting from D&D. Oh, I know that Eberron was originally from 3.5. Oh, I know. It has my favorite. It has my favorite class. Like it had my favorite. That 3.5 is where I started playing D&D, and it has my favorite class specifically from that edition, which was the Artificer. I do not like the 5e Artificer. Yeah, go. Yeah, just post it on the Discord or something like that. They have links turned off on Twitch chat. Or being modded out, I should say. Gust of Wind absolutely works. He's a ships guy. Let's see here. Charm makes sense, but I think Gust of Wind is better because it plays more to like him being this ship pirate type character. You go 5th rank then if you are going for lower ranks for others. I don't mind going to higher ranks. It's just that if I see something that I think works, I just get, regardless of how low it is, I just take it and then run with it. I'm focusing more on like getting something in there that works well, rather than it being something that is perfect. Because if I focus on it being perfect, I'm gonna be here until I'll be here until the cows come home on one of them. Also, everything seems to be heal or harm for font, I swear. Yeah, I think yeah, it kind of is. Um the main reason for that is because most deities I've set up to be in that position to be like the goodly deities are not just all virtuous. They're virtues with vices. And then all the more evil deities are vices with virtue. And then all the neutral stuff is just like we're not really about either or. We're here because we're about something else. And the heal and harm is just like I kind of want to keep the options open, but I probably should restrict it a little bit more. Not that it really matters ultimately a lot of the time, because unless you have a specific reason for doing so, you generally want to just pick heal anyways. More comes into holy, unholy than heal harm. Yeah, and a lot of them are set up to either be neither, or may be. I have a lot of neithers. Mostly because most of these deities are not directly related to the holy aspect or the unholy aspect, unless it's supposed to be light or dark. Arcane Arcade Eberron actual play is Pathfinder 2E. I know it has XP level 3 posted mainly. Awesome. Appreciate it. Usually can pick one. Okay. I'll do some minor tweaking across the board then. I think the big thing with is that I've been thinking about holy unholy in a bit more of a broad in a more narrow context than I should be. But yeah. That part aside. And a different Pathfinder 2e conversion more for monsters and stuff. Nice. Appreciate it. But yeah, Eberron was my favorite setting back in the day. We didn't, now mind you, I didn't play a lot in the Eberron setting or run a lot in the Eberron setting. It was a lot more of like the setting itself was really, really interesting. And I took concepts from it or hijacked ideas from it a lot of the time. It was very, very interesting to me. Because it was very rare for us to play in games where we use the pre-existing setting stuff. I'm GMing and Baron starting real soon. Nice. I'm starring Glory and yeah, I've been told that one before. Because the idea behind Eberron's like base existence is, because Faerun and the Forgotten Realms was very much like top down, like deities first, and deities made things, and you go top down. Eberron was a lot more the other way around. It's like, okay, you have all these things that are being influenced by deities at the top. What if we just got rid of that and just worked from the bottom upwards? It's kind of like the starting concept of Eberron that makes it like really different from other D&D settings. I also just really like how anytime that you have ancient relics in Eberron, like any old items or old technologies or anything like that, the goblins just will just call you a thief because you stole from them. Because technically you probably did. All that stuff has likely belonged to them at one point. From Keith Baker? Yeah. Keith Baker. Good. He makes good stuff. Let's see here. Back to the task at hand. I'm gonna type in something really weird here. Is there anything for that's sailing oriented? Is a city a state where a desert where magic works weird or not at all by some scenarios? Weird storms, lots of clockwork and narrow landings between country and wizard, and a country of undead. Yeah, I have an area where magic is really unstable and there's just magical storms all the time. From the back of the setting book, Frontiers of Everyone. Yeah, awesome. Let's just see. Is there anything for the sea? With surface sending a surge of water from you. Let's see here. Feet to fins. Maybe. Is there anything related to treasure? Phantasmal treasure. No. Loot. I doubt it, but you never know. Dive and breach. The briefest dive through the plane of water. That's actually pretty dope. Magician creatures emit in multiple splash zones take damage only once. I kind of like that actually. Maybe. Dive and breach is a maybe. It's also trickery, so maybe like an illusion or something like that. Like shared invisibility. You and all targets except to each other as long as the target remains within the emanation. If a creature made invisibility by the spell leaves the spell's area, becomes visible, and remains so even if it returns to the spell's area. A creature made invisible by a spell uses a hostile action. The spell ends. The hostile action is completed. That kind of works. It's a little bit less of that kind of trickery, though. I've forgotten what that spell was already called. Dive and breach. That's what it was. Okay. Is there anything else that kind of jumps out at me? Cloud current. Air and water are combined into a great cloud of funnel of currents within it. The eddies make up the cloud appear to be a group of cloud cloud of dragons turning through the sky. No. Not hydraulic torrent. As much as I feel like that would be fun, I don't feel like that's an appropriate choice here. I mean, vapor form actually kind of makes a lot of sense here. Transforms the vapor state in the state the target is amorphous. It loses any item bonus to the AC. All other effects and bonuses of armor used to modify armor defense. It gains resistance 8 to physical damage and is immune to precision damage. Can't cast spells, activate items, or use actions that have the attacker manipulate trait. It gains a fly speed of 10 feet and slips through tiny cracks. The target can dismiss the spell. Yeah, that works. Vapor form works reasonably well. Oh. Okay. All right, Kambar. Dragon deity. Big. Do, 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 do. Okay. All right. Hmm. Might magic wormkin. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's just put dragon in here and see what we come up with. Brine dragon bite or brine dragon bile. That's a reaction. Creature within range takes damage from slashing or piercing attacks, or one that inflicts persistent bleed damage. Explode caustic salt water that stings the wound of the creature, making a ranged spell attack against the triggering creature's AC. On hit, salt scores its open wound, dealing 2d6 persistent acid damage. Ooh. Oh. That's pretty good. It became the Dragon Domain. That's a legacy thing. Okay. Not a problem. There. Fixed. It's literally the only one that had Wormkin anyways. I do remember there being a scale thing, though. Reflective scales. There it is. Yeah, so we'll have that for sure. So that's a fourth. Oh, geez, that's hard for me to read. Oh, hey, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Boy? Yep. It's hard for me to read your... It's hard for me to read your text because I have it's blue text on a blue background on my phone. A new world, just don't know which game I should go, which should, because still a new PF2E. So the thing about here's what the way that I approach, even though you should have a system in mind, um I would say that it's probably better that you just kind of know the system that you want to pick and then just kind of build the world as you want and then make it work as you kind of see fit. Because most of the things that are there are what you find. Pathfinder 1. So Pathfinder 1 is much more akin to D&D 3.5 because it was actually made for that. And then the difference between first edition and second edition is basically the math is completely different. And the approach is completely different. Like you can't multi-class in Pathfinder 2. That's something, and Pathfinder 1, there was a really big thing about prestige classing all the time, or multi-classing. Armor of Thorn and Claw. Take one piercing hit with a melee attack. It takes one piercing damage. Additionally, if you become grabbed, restrained, or otherwise held immobilized in a creature's grasp, such as being engulfed or swallowed, the creature takes 1d4 persistent bleed damage instead. Oh. The 3-action economy is like the biggest thing that makes Pathfinder stand out from a lot of other systems. You can do that. Armor of Thorn and Claw. Oh my gosh, the typing is awful. Okay. I've played a handful of games. I'm really good at understanding systems, I think. So I'm kind of happy with this. This is also something where I'm just like, this is also less difficult to homebrew. This is not something that I make, you make in, it unbalances the game. This is like, hey, here's an option that you can pick. And it's also like my saying specific, so it works out a little bit better. Oh. I would say also the other thing that Pathfinder Second Edition does, as opposed to First, and really any other of the game that's in its sort of like pocket of the TTRPG space, is that you have um way more hit points in first level than you do in any other game. Like effectively more hit points too. Like not just have more, you effectively have more. All right, Star, have yourself a lovely day. In the start, I have 2 factions and 3 NPCs in the start, the same, but no real. Can't accept story as a Oath of Conquest Paladin, which could be easily changed. And yeah, that's simple. And honestly, if you're building a setting, like, unless you're building a setting for the sake of yourself, which is one of the things that I do, is just kind of have the thing that you need and then just build that microcosm and then just slowly work your way outwards as needed. I want to run in the settings. Yeah. So like the best thing that you can do is just like, one of the things that I recommend is build your setting around the adventure that you want to run. Because, so not the other way around. So don't build a story around a setting, build a setting around a story. because it's much easier to do that. It's also what writers do. Um, and it's much less in that way that you can also bend the setting over backwards to where you need it because it hasn't necessarily been designed in a way that restricts you in ways that don't work. Now, if you're like me and you just like building settings, maybe run stuff in them. But you like building settings, you just like making stuff for you, the setting, and keep expanding upon it, then that's a different story because that's something that I like. But I don't recommend that to people because I know that that isn't necessarily something that a lot of people actually find a ton of joy in. Might Magic Tyranny. Feral Shade. Mostly Carry, Hellbound. Lock item. Boost time arrow. Misdirect. Cave round. Prime stick. Sort of snap. Sort of shatter. Telekinetic maneuver. Timely umbrella extraction. Comet swarm. Those are really that thing I'm looking for here. That's a As Conquest of Southern Nation players are from he already conquered the valley he's from. The carrion Mothra or Moth both reference to carrion birds that are attacked. Valley that are from the Carrion Valley or Morcar both reference carrion birds that are attracted to the land through its bloody history. Okay. That works. It's a hook. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. Paintball Mad Monkeys. Hmm. So I have a few bullet points I want him Lumi. Honestly, at one point I decided to take up Soul Sight. Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe then someone who in the group apparently had the same feat. Ah, as Uric Warboar. Nice. Classic. Morning, Crash Ping. Good morning. Monster tribes and has built it through fear and awe. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, if I have it, then it acts like detect metal or detect magic. Basically, makes me sensing in the sun, rising smoke. And my work break a lazy Sunday with nothing to do except eat snacks. Nice. Okay. I've already got a 4th level one. Let's see here. 5. Oh, wait a minute. This is the magic dragon. I need to pick domain individual. I actually need to go all 9 with this one. Speaking of 9. Ugh. The racist culture idea because people moving the more unified. The other factions besides him are rebel tribes, though they are in the download. Yeah. That's awesome, actually. Okay. So, as much as I would like to keep going, it is 9 o'clock. I gotta get going. I'll be back on tomorrow morning. Hopefully, I'll have this done, actually. I should be able to get this done on my own for the rest of the day, which would be cool. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. It's a bit of a shame, but we'll figure it out, I guess. He assassinated someone from each tribe in the conquest. He was added to his war council, or the whole tribe was put to the sword. Damn. That's actually pretty awesome. Like, it's a good motivator. Alrighty. Thank you very much for the follow there, Permafrost. Appreciate it. Thank you. And, yeah. I'm going to call it a day here for this, and then we're going to move on. And, yeah. Till next time, guys. Really appreciate you. If you buy tomorrow, I'll see you then. Till next time, guys. Have a good day.